Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on in to KSJB's little preview of the Girls State B Tournament going on in Jamestown at the Jamestown Civic Center. Ryan King, Patrick McColl with the Sunday Sports Roundup and Buffalo City Blitz. And Patrick, we got 8 teams here, and I'm excited for this one because I think anybody can win this one.
Yeah, it's not like some of these other divisions where you probably know who's going to win. This is a real toss-up here, and it's hard to say who exactly will come out on top.
And the one thing that I'm looking forward to in this tournament is we're going to get a chance to see some of the teams that we don't normally cover here at KSJB. So I'm talking Kenmare Bowbells, Central McLean, the #1 team, Lewis and Clark Berthold, the Bombers. We also have some great names in this tournament too.
Yeah, and now going to be a new champion here as well, Ryan. So it should be very unique, and love the names. I know your favorite one's the Honkers. That's Ryan King's absolute favorite.
Absolutely. So I think this is an open tournament. We talked with Seth Dunlap before. I got 6 teams that could walk away with this state title, and I'm talking about Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion. They're rolling on some really good momentum right now. Lewis and Clark Berthold, we've heard a lot of doubt about them having that #1 seed, so I think they're going to want to prove the doubters wrong out there. And Kenmare Bowbells was #1 in Class B a good chunk of the season, as well as Benson County. So I think, like I said, about 6 teams in this bracket have a chance to win this title.
Yeah, it would be a surprise to see a team like Linton HMB truly go far because you have to pull off multiple upsets. But like you said, there is at least 6 teams deep here, and it's funny with the storylines between 1 and 2, as one being that the top seed for so long, but then Lewis and Clark Berthold just with the incredible win-loss record.
And you touched up on it before, and I'm going to bring it up again. Just the mascots and the names that we get in this tournament are going to be fun. We got the Honkers, we got the Jaguars, we got the Cougars, we got the Cardinals, the Bombers, the Lions, the Wildcats, and the Lobos. We got a potential of a cat versus cat state championship here.
Yeah, and the great thing is a lot of unique logos here. Sometimes we know them, not going to call them out. You just copy paste the logo from like the NFL or MLB.
Right.
That didn't happen here. A lot of unique logos and teams.
So, Patrick, let's get into it. We're going to go and select our own winner of this Class B state championship, and we'll see how it goes. So, for you and I, who do you got? Kenmare Bowbells, the Honkers, taking on Grant County Mott Region.
Yeah, I got to go chalk here. Boring, but Kenmare Bowbells, I'm going to trust in the Honkers and the voters who have put this team consistently at the top all year long. I got to go with Kenmare Bowbells there, right?
All right, go ahead and write that up there on the top.
I'm going to go with the KB for Kenmare
And then
Bowbells.
I will also be going Kenmare Bowbells in this opening win. The Honkers representing very well. Moving on to this next one, very interesting one, and this is a team that Seth is really high on right now, and that is Central McLean taking on Langdon area Munich. Who you got, the Cougars or the Cardinals?
I got to go Central McLean, another high seed getting it done here over the Cardinals, Ryan. I trust in them beating a lot of these teams that might have already made this bracket, so I'm going to go with Central McLean.
All right, well, I'm going to agree with you too, and I'm going to put the CM right there.
Nice little CM.
So we are 2 for 2 right now. Moving on to the next one. I think this could be a very interesting matchup depending on how this team starts off the game. We have #1 Lewis and Clark Berthold taking on #8 Linton HMB. What you think?
You know, the tournament guy in me wants to pick Linton HMB and be a little biased because I called some Lions games, but I'll trust in Lewis and Clark Berthold to get the job done, Ryan. So
all right, Patrick going with Lewis and Clark Berthold. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to play devil's advocate in this one. I liked what I seen with Linton HMB in their state qualifying matchup. I think they're going to be riding that momentum a little bit. Give me the upset and let them prove the doubters. I'm going Linton HMB to get the upset.
You know, Ryan, I wanted to agree, but that team, they were in trouble at Mayville State for a little bit of the game.
A little bit,
I was surprised they made the run, so I just think they're playing a little bit of borrowed time and they'll get it.
And I've been thinking back to some of our predictions on the Buffalo City Blitz, on the Sunday Sports Roundup, anything like that. And when you make the bold predictions, it doesn't go as well. So I'm trying to turn the tide here a little bit. And finally, I think this one could be a fantastic game too. #4 Benson County taking on #5 Lemoore Litchfield Marion. Who you got?
Yeah, so kind of an upset just because Lemoore Litchfield Marion, in my opinion, a little bit underseeded, a little bit biased here, but the Lobos, they're very physical. I got to go with Lemoore Litchfield Marion. beating up this Benson County team, getting the win.
I am also going to go Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion. I just like the momentum that they've been riding on these last couple of weeks, whether it was, they did take a loss in that district tournament, but got a big rebound in that Region 1 tournament and winning it. So give me that. And I also want to throw in there, too, we talked about this on the Sunday Sports Roundup. Lemoore wins Region 1 and doesn't have a top half seed.
Yeah,
I think there's kind of a problem with that.
Very interesting.
And I think they're going to be riding that going into the next round. So we both have Kenmare Bull Bells versus Central McLean. Who do you got in the semifinal there?
All these games should be great. I've probably decided by 10 or less, even as we get to the semifinals. But I'm going to go with Kenmare Bull Bells, Ryan and KB. Just getting the job done there into the next round. And yeah, I got to go with them winning.
So I was very quiet on Central McLean going into the state title, but when Seth reminded me on how they kind of finished last year, it got me thinking a little bit. So I'm going to go Central McLean here. They have been here before. They got a little bit of title or tournament experience last year, so let me have them going into the semifinal. One we disagreed on was Lewis and Clark Berthold versus Linton HMB. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, so this is where...
Or Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, I should say.
Right,
Excuse me.
This is where our brackets will start to get a little bit messy, but I'm going to go with Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion pulling off another upset here. And this would be a true upset to me. I believe the Lobos are the better team against Benson County, but I'm giving Lewis and Clark Berthold the benefit of the doubt. But to me, when you look at the schedule, they haven't faced the same adversity as LLM. So with that said, tournament time, I'm going with who you trust. You got to go with who you trust when it's March, Ryan. Going with Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion.
Oh, all right. So I had it a little bit different here. I had Linton HMB with the upset over Lewis and Clark Berthold. This would mean Linton HMB, Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, round 4 now finally. And I got to say, we've had some fantastic games with these two teams, but I just think with the way that this team has been rolling lately, I got to go Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion to get in there. So I have Lemoore versus Central McLean in the state championship. You have Kenmare Bull Bells versus Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion. Who is Patrick McColl's state champion?
This is probably the toughest decision, and sorry to the listeners in Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion that you probably know my voice at this point. I call a lot of the Lobos games. I'm going with Ryan's favorite, Kenmare Bull Bells. The Honkers honking on to a win.
All right, well, I'm going to make the Lemoore fans a little bit happier out there. I just like the way that this team has come together, both offensively, defensively. They had a little bit of a setback in that District 2 tournament when they lost one of their best players, but we've seen them almost playing better than what they were doing before. So your state champs in Class B will be Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, and that is our picks for the Class B state tournament on the girls' side. And again, Patrick, I'm just looking forward to it. We're going to have all the action here on KSJB.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Every single game is going to be covered live on KSJB, including 20-minute pregame shows before the game, Ryan, so you won't miss any action. And we can already go ahead. I got to get a little bit of a bragging rights. Cross that off. That's not going to happen. Kenmare Bull Bells will win. Go Honkers.
Oh, we will certainly see on that. So that is it, everybody. Our preview of this state tournament title. Looking forward to it. And like Patrick said, we'll have your full coverage on KSJB starting at about 12:40, and we're getting into the action. So go Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion Lobos, go Honkers, and good luck to everybody in the state tournament.